Let's head up to Michigan and say good morning to Judge Middleton.
The first matter we're going to address is People versus Miranda Jean Lundgren. The file number is 25671FY. Ms. Lundgren was charged with resisting obstructing a police officer. The matter was reduced to attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. I asked to set the matter out for a bit. I got the police report. Ms. Davis, I'd like to thank your staff. They also got me the videos, and I'm technically not very capable, but I got them and I got them opened and I watched them and they were very informative. So thank you for that. All right, having said all that, this is the time for a sentence on a misdemeanor charge of attempting to resist or obstruct a police officer. Ms. Hines, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, if you watch the body cam, you're aware that the reason that the police even came to the McDonald's that day was because they said she was smoking methamphetamine, which they found nothing in the car. She had her dog, she was eating a breakfast sandwich sitting in McDonald's, and then the police came up, and it was then just a bunch of unfortunate situation. I just had one very similar next door with Judge Pattison, where basically the prosecutor said and the judge agreed, but for the stubbornness of, my client, they got an R&O. So I think here it was the same. She was able to get her gun back and the ammunition, which I'm appreciative for the officer releasing that to her. I think this shouldn't be a probation case. It should not be a jail case. It should just be fines and costs, and hopefully she can move on and not have to deal with the situation like this again. Thank you.
Ms. Davis, you probably saw the same video we saw. What's your take of this?
Your Honor, I did not watch the video as far as the timing that we have to do things. This was one that Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Robert had handled. So, the notes that he left are that this started as a simple, expired plate, but for the behaviors, we wouldn't be here today. So, I'd leave it to the court's discretion as to what punishment to impose for this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thus, new statute, the criminal justice reform legislation presumed there's no jail and no probation. I don't know that I need a probation, but Ms. Lundgren, what would you like to tell me?
Just that the incident was off of a false police report, and my tags were there in the police report. It says that he wanted to separate me from my pistol, which was in the back. I had just done my first CPL class the day before, but that's not what it was, because what he stated on the video was that he wanted me out of the vehicle, so I didn't turn my car on and run him over, because he said, I need to take off your plate. I said, you can take it, because I turned my car off. I wasn't going anywhere or resisting, trying to resist. He come back and said he wanted to search my car. I said, I don't give you permission to search my car. And then he says, well, I want you out of the vehicle because I don't want you to turn the car on and back up and run me over. I said, sir, I'm not going to do that. He's like, I want you out of the car. I said, I don't want to get out of the car. And that's when he proceeded to open up my car door and stick his arm on my throat. And here I am.
All right, you have zero remorse for this. I don't have any sympathy for you. You stubborned your way into an arrest. He said more than once, ma'am, I really don't want to do this. He's a police officer. He didn't just decide to come check you out. Somebody made a complaint that you were in there. I don't know whether it was valid or not. Somebody called Central Dispatch.
It's not valid. There's
I don't know that. So
he
comes there, and because he's sent there by Central Dispatch, you got a dog in the car. Were you living in the car?
No, sorry.
It had so much stuff in it. I didn't know if maybe you were living in it temporarily or something.
What does that have to do with?
I don't know.
Anything?
So anyway, the police get sent there because somebody calls in a complaint.
That's right.
All right, so he comes there. You're not terribly disrespectful. You didn't want to do what he wanted you to do, but when your plate
I
was
was
invalid,
cooperative with it,
uh,
and up to the point.
up to the point where he asked you to get out of the car. And he has a right to ask you to get out of the car. The car's got an improper plate. He doesn't want to leave you in the car with the keys while he's behind your car.
That's what he
And you,
stated.
well, that
yes.
is what he
That's
said. You
not-
said,
yeah.
that's ridiculous. And maybe not.
Oh, I said, I'm not gonna do
All right.
that, sir.
This is my turn to talk. Stop interrupting me. I'll give you a chance to say what you want to say. You said, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, lady, are you really going to do this? It was a huge pain for him and a huge pain for you, certainly. And then they had to deal with your dog and your car. And it could have been so much easier. You could have just stepped out of the car. He would have taken your plate. And he would have got a ticket, which was a civil infraction. And that would have been it. And you're not even sorry now. You could have just made this so much easier. Yes, he had a right to ask you to step out of the car. The car had an unlawful plate. He was going to take it. No officer is going to get behind somebody's car while they're in it with the keys in it. He didn't ask you for the keys, but I don't think he would have given them to him. I
would have, yes, I would have.
I don't know why somebody called. I didn't get the central dispatch tape, but they didn't find anything. So you're right. There wasn't anything to that.
Right.
And Your Honor, I guess, just to clarify too, admitting that you had the pistol in there, absolutely bring that up to the officer. But the officer isn't just going to blindly trust that it is where you say it is in the vehicle too. So for safety issues, that is where I'm looking at, the
But I
officer
can
asking you for those things.
understand that point of view. This is when he came up to my vehicle and asked for my license, I gave it to him. And I said, I'm also going to tell you, I have a pistol in the car and I just did my first CPL class. It's in the back, it's locked.
But again, that's an expectation that everybody that they talk to is going to tell them the truth, and they can't make that judgment alongside. So I don't want you to feel like this officer was.
I mean, I
picking
can
on you.
understand that point of view. That didn't run through my head when he was asking to take my plate. He
well,
didn't say that to me. He didn't say, I want to remove you from pistol or anything like that. He just said he was afraid that I was gonna back up, turn the car and back up and run him over. And I said, I'm not gonna do that. So
all right. Well, so he trusts you. You're not going to do it. Who knows the next person? And he knows you've got a gun in the car. He wants to get you out of the car.
I could, like I said,
And you
understand.
dumbassed your way out of it because you wouldn't get out of the car.
I didn't
And you're like, I'm
think
not,
that it was necessary, but I mean,
it was necessary. So how would about 90 days in jail be necessary? I see zero remorse or repentance for you. If I were to give you a drug test today, what would it show?
nothing.
All right. So you're not struggling with anything?
No. Where is this?
No, not at all.
I can't make her be,
I mean, I'm following
can't-
the law like I just.
you weren't following the
How
law.
can I be a citizen that I have no priors here in Michigan. I've lived here for 7 years. I don't do drugs. For one, like I don't understand where that's coming from. It is a huge issue for me. I've already had to pay to get my car out, all that stuff. Like, I mean, I don't understand how you're saying that it's like
Well, I can't
no
make you understand.
consequence to me.
We're talking two different languages. You're concerned about your rights and privileges, which you have. But at some point, the rights of the police officer supersede yours.
Which it did, yes.
He knows you got a gun in there. He's gonna get behind your car. There's a dog in there. And he's by himself. He doesn't know what's what. Someone called and says you're using drugs at that location. He hasn't done any investigation yet. He doesn't want to leave you in the car with the keys and a gun while he doesn't know you from Adam's cat. Every day, police officers are shot in this country by people who, for whatever reason, don't want to cooperate with the police. He's following his training, and I thought he was quite respectful to you. You didn't do what he wanted to do.
Also, this is my first time owning a pistol, so I guess that didn't register when he pulled me over. I've never had trouble before, so when I said that I didn't want to get out of my car, it had nothing to do with that. But he stated that there was nothing going on when he first pulled up. So, I mean, I guess I'm not familiar with everything, so I don't, it was just a whirlwind.
I can't make you be repentant, so I'm not gonna do that. Are you employed somewhere?
Not at the moment.
What kind of work have you done?
Factory work.
Really, the sum total of your resisting was refusing to get out of the car. Once you got out of the car, you were not any more disrespectful than you were before. You cooperated, you were concerned about your dog, but this was your own fault. I believe you spent 2 days in jail. You got arrested on the 14th. That's not right.
Looks like you went in on the 13th and was
Bond was
released on the
posted on the
15th.
7th. Were you in, you weren't in jail that long? How long were you in custody?
I would say about 2 days.
The release
Yeah.
date was 4/14 at 16:07.
And then at some point, they must actually serve the warrant, and then she had to post again on May 7th. I think she spent a total of 3 days. We'll call it 3 days. Credit 3 days. As I indicated, I don't know any reason to put her on probation. There's a presumption of no jail. As she indicated, I don't know what she has in other states. She doesn't have much of anything in Michigan or in our system.
A couple of OWIs.
Yes, and what state was that in? Indiana?
Mhm.
All right, there's a $125 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and a $150 attorney fee. That's $400. She did post a $1,000 10% bond, so the court keeps 10% of the 10%, which is $10, and $90 can be applied to the fine and cost, so it shows $310. Can you pay that by the end of July? Or would you rather have a payment plan?
Whether you extend it a little bit more. Some issues going on right now.
All right, I'll make this due by August 15th. Oops.
Like, I'm trying to
The word of advice for you and anybody else is the officer asks you to step out of the car, step out of the car. All right, Ms. Lundgren, you're free to go.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please do put a thumbs up on it. Consider leaving a comment and letting us know your thoughts. Also, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and we love it if you join us live weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.